guys.
Hey.
Oh my god, we're here.
We are.
You know what's a great movie?
What?
Kingpin.
Oh, that is a good movie.
I've seen that movie. It's about bowling.
Yeah, and listen to this fucking segue.
What?
We got an interview with the Kingpin, Brian Milonas.
Get
What?
the fuck out of here
Oh,
right
I was
now.
there.
You did the
I did the
interview. You're listening to The Blade Job. And this is our interview with Brian Milonas. And you should like and subscribe on YouTube. You should add our RSS feed on your favorite podcasting app. You should like us on Facebook, facebook.com/TheBladeJob, and follow us on Twitter @TheBladeJobShow.
High Voltage 1987.
And at Blade Job Collins.
This interview with Milonas is short, but it's
Short and sweet.
I have spoken to Brian Milonas and said maybe we can sit down and do a little longer one. Maybe we're going to get a little more information on a certain Canadian trip he brought up.
You gotta listen to the interview to find out what that trip is.
And you should do that right about now.
Now. This is High Voltage Scott Perkins here with the Kingpin, Brian Milonas, at Chaotic Wrestling. And Brian, I just thank you for taking the time to sit down with us. Just want to ask you a couple questions.
No problem, man. Happy to be here.
Alrighty. After a good showing in the Ring of Honor Top Prospects, what is your future with Ring of Honor, or just with the Indies in general?
Yeah, man. I mean, my plan is with the Indies, just keep getting out there, keep doing whatever, whatever I can. I definitely tend to stay a little more in the New England area, but you never know where I could branch out to. Ring of Honor. I mean, I don't. I mean, sit there and tell you I know what's coming next for me there. I don't. I can tell you haven't seen me for the last time in a Ring of Honor ring. I can tell you that you will see me with Ring of Honor and on Ring of Honor television again. But in what capacity, I don't know. But I'm excited, man.
All right.
I'm excited.
Good stuff. Now, you're training, you went to Killer Kowalski's school, and I know you started training a long time ago. Did you actually train under Killer?
So by the time I joined, Walter wasn't active training guys in the ring, but he would come to class every single Saturday. And I was one of the few guys who actually took advantage of him being there, because he literally had a living, breathing history book of professional wrestling, one of the greatest names to ever, and to not use that was so foolish by some guys. So me, the other real big one that would always take the time to talk to Walter and just absorb that knowledge was Warbeard Hansen. And we got to go on a road trip with him to Canada, which was crazy. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy who I was lucky enough to form a close relationship with, and I miss Walter to this day.
That is something that a lot of guys in training that I hear. I've actually heard a lot about that. Like, they have a guy like a Killer Kowalski who, and guys in the WWE, they have like Dean Malenko, and they don't take advantage of that. And that's one thing that I just never understood, that you're going to have one of these great minds, and Walter was one of the great trainers. He trained some of the greatest wrestlers.
Not just one of the greatest trainers, but a lot of things people don't realize. Walter Kowalski, Killer Kowalski, is a guy who sometimes guys' styles or whatever, or their personas wouldn't translate across generations. Killer Kowalski is a guy who would he was a main eventer in his day. He'd be a main eventer and making money in 2017 in pro wrestling. He was absolutely incredible. Anybody out there, the footage is a little harder to come by because they didn't record as much, but go watch him. Go watch his interviews. Go watch the things he did. He was ahead of his time.
Awesome. Is there anyone out there, that feasibly you could wrestle that you would like to wrestle? Like anyone in the Indies, or, that you think you would probably have a chance to wrestle at some point?
Yeah, I mean, like Cody Rhodes on that list. Matt Riddle is a guy on that list. Jay Lethal.
Yep.
The Briscoes. I mean, guys like that. Those are the names off the top of my head that come to mind immediately.
Those are all matches I think I'd like to see. you against Matt Riddle or like Cody Rhodes, like just
I love those Clash of Styles sort of
yeah,
matches. You know?
absolutely.
Like, I love like when people don't know. I think wrestling in general is a lot better when people don't know what's going to happen. I think you put me against somebody like a Matt Riddle. I don't think people don't know what the hell is going to happen.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he's great, but just your size would hamper a lot of what he could do, and the same thing with Cody.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. Is there a match that you have wrestled that like really stands out to you?
It's funny. I did for the longest time. My favorite match, I did a 3-way ladder match with Brian Fury and Warbeard Hansen a number of years ago. For the longest time, that was my favorite match until about a year and a half ago. I wrestled Donovan Dijak for Chaotic Wrestling, and it's my favorite match I've ever had. It's on Chaotic Wrestling's YouTube page currently. It's from Cold Fury, and Dijak became one of my favorite guys to wrestle, and that match in particular is probably the favorite match I've ever had in my life.
All right, and just last question, going back to your size, you're a big boy. Do you like wrestling other bigger guys like Warbeard Hansen or an Ace Romero, or do you like wrestling smaller guys? Do you have a preference?
I mean, I'd like to think that that I'm versatile and I can wrestle anybody. It depends on the guy. I mean, you talk about like wrestling Hansen. Hansen's my favorite opponent of all time. The guy's 300 pounds, but he wrestles like he's 220. The things he can do is incredible, and the world is seeing it now. The world is seeing what I've known and what New England has known for a long time. I would say I don't know if I don't like being not the biggest guy in the match. I like being the bigger guy in the match. But yeah, I mean, again, I love to wrestle like a guy like Hansen. Although I've had really good matches with guys who are a lot smaller than me. The only thing I don't like is wrestling a guy who's bigger than me.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for the time and good luck tonight.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.